I have been missing you guys. Right here, this groove is making me think. Okay, if you're not from this area, what we call it, the Midwest or whatever, we be ready. We be like ready for spring in anticipation. We be waiting. But when you hear good jazz, ooh, you be like, it's almost here. We having jazz in the park, all those events coming up, white parties. We get ready. We appreciate when it gets warm up here in the Midwest, especially in Michigan. I don't know about anybody else, but Detroit and the surrounding areas, we cannot wait. Our calendars be like tight packed with things going on for outdoors because we just love it. And I'm telling you, going to some live jazz every Fridays. We have places every Thursdays, the jazz festival. I'm telling you, just listening to it with the sun shining. Yeah, it's happening. It's right around the corner. I am so happy to be here. I am your host, Dr. Sonia Weaver, and welcome to Get to Know Bob. Thank you guys for hanging in with me. Yes, we've been on a brief hiatus. For those of you who follow me on social media, then you know that my family has been impacted with some deaths that have occurred in a short period of time. And sometimes you just gotta break away a little bit. So that is the double-edged sword, I guess you would say. You have the opportunity as a business owner to call your own shots, right? So if you need time, you give yourself time. But then what's that cliche, that's that saying, if you don't work you don't eat. So I can't stay away too long, so it gives you the incentive, or you have to get yourself focused and start actually going through the process of mourning. So we have some amazing things that's in store for you coming up regarding going through grief recovery. But before I jump right into there, I'm just going to tell you some things that have been going on with me most recently. So despite the loss, there have always blessings. God is so good. I mean, so good. And one thing that I am going to be doing to show just how good he is I don't have a platform for me, and for a long time I said this platform was for you, for Black owned businesses. But the truth of the matter is, if God gives me the opportunity to wake up in my right mind with a voice, the platform is for him. So ultimately, God is going to always get the glory from this point on in everything I do. And here, especially, one of the things that we're going to be finding out is what has God done in my life and what has God done in the lives of my guests. Because I'm telling you, it's going to get crazy. And the only thing I know for me, okay, the only thing I know that gets me through the times that are crazy, the times when it just seems hopeless, is God. And I want to make sure that you can get salvation on a podcast, right? We might say the right thing at the right time that hits the right person right where they need it, and they get salvation. So we go praise God, and we're going to do so through this platform. And we're going to also make sure that people get educated, because we are here doing the work for the community, and we're walking in the purpose that we're designed for, right? I truly believe that everybody has a purpose. Everybody is here for a particular reason. Now, before we get into our conversation, let me tell you some of the amazing things that has happened to me most recently, giving God the glory for what he has done. My son is awesome. So a lot of people, I don't, I guess publicly just always talk about my kids and all these different things. But yes, I have an amazing son, and he is 26, and he is on the autism spectrum. He actually was recognized at the 2025 Autism Gala and Awards as a superhero for just making it. One of the things that I like to share is already, as a young Black man in society, right? And you add on the challenges that come along with being on the spectrum, he is definitely a voice that needs to be out in our community. So yeah, we've been quiet for a long time, and I mean, he's not gonna be verbal. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So it's up to me to be verbal for the both of us, and to let people know, yes, especially the ones with the younger kids that are like, how can I get through this? You can get through it because I got through it, and I'm continuing to get through it, right? So I got 26 years in the game. You might have 2 or 3. Okay, so it lets you know you can make it. You can make it. And then I have some people that I just met that have some that are in their 40s letting me know, okay, I can make it. I can make it. And that's what we do. We're bringing that awareness during this month of April. So there's many events that I've already attended. Hezekiah Paints the Deep Blue has been one of them. It was a community dinner dance at the Pistons Training or Performance Center. It was awesome. They had their live conversation. If you don't tune in every Sunday from 4:30 to 5:30 to the podcast that Dr. Ratanji Bailey does with Dice Clark and 2 other co-hosts. They talk about with the community about autism. Yes, and at that event, I got to meet some amazing youthpreneurs. We had BBT bracelets by Taylin and Typical Hubby Hud from BBT. I got that beautiful necklace up in the corner, and I'm kind of a little salty that they have now gone away from the puzzle pieces. You know, I won't go into that right now, but y'all can hear me talk about that on social media because I am going to make a post because I want people to chime in that's in this autism community, your thoughts. And over at Typical Hubby Hood, I got a keychain that says someone I love has autism, so that, you know, hey, when you have these items on, it just gives an opportunity for that wall to be broken and for you to be able to share your personal story and some support information to whoever might see it. Because even with wearing the bracelet, people have stopped me. So speaking of the bracelet, I designed a beautiful autism bracelet last year at the Linked Autism Awareness event. So they have another one this year. Woohoo! And it's called Piece by Piece, Connecting Through Creativity. It will be Saturday, April the 26th at the Caroline Kennedy Library located in Dearborn Heights. So register today on Eventbrite. You definitely want to make sure you get your tickets because there will be some limited space. You're basically paying for your materials. There's going to be food and fellowship and all these great things happening, but you want to know that this is a family-friendly event. So have your autistic children come. This is where they have an opportunity to share their creativities in a non-threatening area where we get to come together, we get to share our stories, and we get to laugh, learn from one another, and be of a support. I am really excited about that event, and I am looking forward to seeing you there. Oh, it has been an amazing time, and I'm just looking forward to what's to come. Let me take a moment to say hello. Thank you for joining. Good evening. I am seeing my mom. My beautiful mom is on. Thank you. So yes, I know she has some questions for our guest, so we do not want to delay. I'm going to introduce him right now. For those who are friends to the show, okay, I want to say friends to the show, then you already know that we have the dynamic conversation coming tonight with Mr. Kenneth Scott, where we're focusing on keys to a dream, unlocking the door to the life you deserve. That's right. You're about to be unlocked to the life that you deserve. And as we don't delay any further, let's welcome Ken. Hi, Ken. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Sonia. How are you?
I am great. I'm great. So I told you would have some people that were already waiting for you.
You gave me a heads up.
I did give you a heads up, right? I did give you a heads up, which is awesome. But that's because you are a guru, right? At what you do. And people are in a place right now where, you know, they're considering home ownership, or they're considering different things that is related to the real estate industry. So, some might already have questions that they are waiting to ask you. But before we do that, for those who may not know you, I want to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself. So please share who you are, what you do, and why do you do what you do.
Okay. My name is Ken Scott. I'm a real estate broker for CSW Real Estate. I've been in real estate a little more than 27 years now, as of March 28th of 1998. Been president of the Detroit Association of Realtors, the Greater Detroit Realtors Association, excuse me, HUD certified housing counselor, entering the realm of development for the first time.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that little entry. But at the same time, also executive director of Detroit Home Ownership Center, CDC.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So we got a couple people that's saying hi, Ken. Barbara Biggs
Hello.
said hi, Ken. We have, oh, hey, Dr. Sharon Dumas with Full and Fabulous. She said hi, Ken.
Yeah, I talked to her the other day. Hi,
Oh,
Sharon.
awesome. Awesome. So, as it pertains then to tonight's show,
Hmm.
you contacted me,
Right, I did.
and normally when you do that, that means you got something going on. You got something on the horizon.
Yeah, I think
Now,
maybe that's pretty helpful.
before we get into that though, specific information, bring us up to speed with some of the things, because you have that introduction, a long list of everything you're associated with, which means
Right.
you're very busy, right? You're very busy in what you do.
Yeah.
So please just give us a good recap of what you've been up to, and what people should kind of know what's been going since the last time you've been here.
Well, over the last few months that weren't on the screen, and I was just crazy involved in real estate. We had an election, unfortunately, that didn't turn out exactly the way we wanted it to. And that created a little damper on some people's interests, activities, whatever the case may be. And one of the things that we're trying to do is uplift the people in the community, make sure that they're aware that regardless of what's happening in Washington or whatever the case may be, we still have a responsibility to take care of our family, our community, and whomever else we're associated with.
Mhm.
And that's one of the things that we wanted to do. We wanted to give people hope, access, and opportunity. Hope to know that home ownership is possible, access to the tools to make you a homeowner, and the opportunity to enjoy it. And
Mhm.
we want to make sure that regardless of your situation, wherever you are in the process itself, you still have an opportunity to own a home and create that generational wealth.
Yeah, that is so important, because a lot of people kind of are up in arms, kind of, they don't know what to do. You hear so much every single day, oh, the tariffs, this and the purchase on that. Should we do this? Should we take our money out the bank
Yeah,
because we're gonna lose electricity, and we're
yeah,
not gonna be able to use our cards, and it's just,
right.
our computer system's gonna be wiped out. We're not gonna be able. It's just
Exactly.
every single day
It can
there's
be truly
something.
overwhelming.
Yes, yes. So for what you then specifically do, and as people who are tuning in, knowing you're that real estate guru, and what have been some of the concerns that people specifically around their home ownership, purchasing real estate, and getting a brick and mortar for their business, anything
Right.
kind of real estate related with the climate right now we are experiencing in our country? What have been some of
Absolutely.
the concerns you have specifically heard of?
Absolutely. Should I buy now? Should I sell now? Should I just hold pat and just ride this out? Um, um, should I just stay where I am on the market as it relates to the market? Make sure that I don't take any of my investment out of the market or any of my retirement funds out of the market? And should I just ride this out? And I'm saying, like most financial planners, ride it out
Mhm.
because it will get better. And if you take it out now, then you're subject to a loss. And we
Mm.
want you
Mhm.
to lose because we're talking about generational wealth.
Right, right.
And generational wealth is not something that goes up and down and everything. It's steady. It's in
Mhm.
progress. You have to wait it out in order to reap what you sow.
Mhm. Mhm.
And we want you to make sure that you make an educated decision, but at the same time, make sure that that educated decision has far more implications for you and your family in the future.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha. Now, because you have said for people to ride it out, what should they be doing while they're riding this out? What would you say?
It depends on what your situation is.
Okay.
Like you were stating that there are a number of people that are in the Midwest. Then there's some people in the West, the East, the South, whatever the case may be. And then there's those individuals that want to relocate for whatever reason.
Mhm.
And you have to decide whether you're going to stay in the Midwest, you're going to retain home ownership, or you want to move elsewhere and you need to sell your property. You may have some complications with where your mortgage is now because of your job insecurity. There are a lot of people that are employed, but in a lot of instances, they're unemployed, I mean, underemployed.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
they have to determine, hey, how far am I away from paying that house off? How far am I away from sustaining myself?
Mhm.
And do I need to take care of some measures that I didn't anticipate 6 months ago? So all those come into play.
So one last question before we enter into the first break.
Okay.
Every time, well, I don't know every, but you've been on here a few times, but seem like every time you come on, you have some new amazing offer for people. And it's typically around those first new homeowner. Have you now? I mean, I know it's only been since January. I know, but a lot has happened since
A lot
January.
has happened.
What have we seen then? Are we still seeing these opportunities or have they been done away with?
The opportunities exist, but at the same time, um, let's talk about the down payment assistance programs. Those down payment assistance programs are still in play and still will be in play at the middle of spring. So those individuals that are seeking to become homeowners, they need to just, like I said, wait it out, but at the same time, save, improve, and increase your credit score, and make sure that you're paying your bills on time. That debt to income ratio is oh so important, but so is your credit score, obviously, because they both interact and play off each other. But be prepared to be a very um, conscientious about what you do as far as your money, your savings, your credit.
Okay, so before we go into break, I just want to make sure I understood this correctly. Currently, those down payment assistance programs are still in play.
Some of them are still in place. Some of them still have funding that is still out there. Some of the funding has been exhausted, but will come back in the middle of spring. Then there's Next Generation, which is a MISHDA down payment assistance program, where if none of your relatives or your ancestors have had homes and what have you, whether it be your parents, your grandparents, then you may be have access to down payment assistance in the amount of $25,000 from the Michigan State Housing Development Authority. And if you've never bought a home, if they've never bought a home, if your grandparents never bought a home, then you're eligible and you can take
Okay.
advantage of that. And it's not income driven.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, what I would like to do is we're going to take us a short break, Ken. And
Okay.
then when we come back, let's just dive a little bit into these assistance programs because I know there's some people that we're going to be watching in and they are first time home owners,
Home
so
buyer.
they home buyers, sorry, home buyers. And, so then they just kind of like everybody else, what's going on around me? I don't know what to do anymore. So it'll be
Exactly.
great just to see about, a little bit more information about the two programs and any other ones. So let's take a quick break and then we will be right back. And before we go into our video, what I want to make sure that I share with everybody is that Good Measure nonprofit is sponsoring a night of jazz and line dancing. Remember, I told you it's jazz season. So bring your fans and get ready to do that new line dance with our fans. It's going to be featuring Cameron McCullen and friends on Saturday, May 3rd from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Positive Images. For advance tickets, you want to call Chris Akins at 734-645-2465 or Kim Glenn at 734-384-2220. Advance tickets are $35 and slightly higher at the door.
Series presented by Dr. Portia Lockett is and self-discovery on your grief to healing journey. The event will happen Saturday, May 17th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. This amazing event began with permission to grieve, which reminded you that you have the permission to grieve. It taught you how bad things will happen and you have the right to feel your pain and grieve. The next event in the series was permission to heal. Many times we don't grieve, so we do not heal from the grief. Permission to live and laugh followed. We learned that life does continue and not to feel any guilt, and that we can laugh and enjoy life, and that living and laughing does not mean you don't miss your loved one. The series ended with permission to love again. Love always continues. So mark your calendars for the Permission to Day series on May 17th. Register today on Eventbrite.
Now back to tonight's conversation. Keys to a Dream. Unlocking the door to the life you deserve. With our hosts, Dr. Sonia Weaver and Kenneth Scott. If you have not already done so, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click the notification bell to receive alerts for future shows. And share deals with Bob with others. Also like and follow us on social media for more conversations of impact with Bob.
Link.
Okay, Ken, we have some questions that came in.
Okay.
We have one for Dr. Sharon Dumas. I am moving and downsizing. Is this still a good time to sell?
I would say, depending on what your situation is specifically, because you have to know that you have to ask yourself this question: where am I relocating to? Okay, because this market is so volatile and so interesting right now that if you sell, you have the proceeds of equity to your advantage. But at the same time, this is a very competitive market as well. So once you sell that unit, are you going to be competing with someone else in another unit as it relates to a purchase? And one of the things that you don't want to do is sell your unit without having a plan or a purpose for where you're going and where you're going to live after you sell.
Gotcha. Thank you. We have Courtney Caldwell, and she actually had two because I believe we might have answered her first one. This is what she says. That was my question. Any new homeowner assistance without income cap? Then she said the name of the down payment from Mishta is First Gen Down Payment Assistance ?
Okay.
So I think she's asking, is that what it's called?
Yes, that's what it's called.
Okay, so there is then a
First generation.
homeowner assistance without income cap.
Correct. And keep in mind that that's not the only program, but that's the program that's initiated through the Michigan State Housing Development Authority. And not only that, they didn't allot for a whole lot of money to be allocated for that program. So it would behoove everyone to look into getting pre-approved and finding out what financial institution have those dollars outside of MISTA or in addition to MISTA. You want to make sure that your financial institution, whether it be a bank, credit union, mortgage broker, whatever the case may be, do they have similar funding that will allow you to do that without being capped by your income?
Gotcha. So I did ask you before we went on the break, if you could just, if there is additional information that you can share about any of these programs for people to know, when they walk away just from tuning in tonight, like what they either need to go research or just which ones you recommend the best for what situations, just a little bit. You don't have to go, into all the nitty gritty, but just so that this was worth someone's tuning in time that are out there thinking, what's out there for me?
Okay. Let me go in a different direction.
Okay.
This Saturday, April 19th, we have an event called Detroit Home Buyers Club. And that Detroit Home Buyers Club is not your average home buyer workshop. As a matter of fact, it says that join us more than just a home buyer workshop, a monthly coaching session. So for those of you that have been discouraged by not being a part of the process, you've missed out on homes, you missed out on getting pre-approved, your credit, it wasn't what it should have been during the time that you were looking initially. Your debt to income ratio was not what it should have been when you were looking initially. We're trying to walk people through the process. One of the things that we specifically want to do is make sure that you have the tools to get pre-approved, because in a lot of instances, that's what people want to know. What credit score do I have to have? How's my debt to income ratio? What do I have to have done in order to position myself for credit worthiness and mortgage readiness? And in a lot of instances, me as a realtor, me as a counselor, me as a developer, president of all the associations, is the fact that we want to make sure that we position you for success. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, once they hear that they're not a part of that vision, they get discouraged.
Okay.
We want to do some hand holding. We want to have financial institutions on hand. They're going to say, listen, you look at it this way, we look at it this way. But at the same time, the onus is on us. Are we going to risk loaning you money, or do we have to turn you down? And these are coming from professionals that are in the financial industry, and they want to teach you how to get in that position. We want to walk you through gathering of the documents. We want to walk you through budgeting. We want to walk you through setting up a checking account so you can create some extra trade lines. We want to make sure that you are approved for a mortgage. We want to make sure that you have access to down payment assistance programs.
Gotcha.
In a lot of instances, our people have missed out on that. Mm-hmm. We want to make sure that those things that have been an obstacle to you, we can overcome, and we can help you overcome those in several different sessions. You may be at a point where you're right on the fringe of where you need to be. But at the same time, there are certain people that may be 6 months out or a year out. We want to help you facilitate and expedite that process to the point where you don't have to wait as long as you had done before. We don't want you to fall through the cracks anymore. We want to make sure that we guide you in each and every step of it, so you will know exactly how much you've been approved for. Now, the responsibility falls on you to find the house, you and your realtor or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, we want to make sure that you have that letter that says, hey, this is the amount that you're shopping for. These are the terms, whether they be conventional, FHA, VA, whatever the case may be. Go out looking, because now you have permission. Now you have a solid foundation of which to go from.
I love it. Okay. So some of the things I jotted down in here were credit readiness and mortgage worthiness. So that would go hand in hand with the current market for this question that's coming up right now.
Okay.
The current market. I want to purchase a lakeside income home. Is this a good time? So what is the current market for something like that? What are your thoughts?
First and foremost, you have to make sure that your positioning is on a solid basis at this point in time. If you're talking about a lakeside home, then this is not your initial home. This is not you're not a first-time home buyer.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You built up equity. You've positioned yourself. You pretty much have a good credit rating. Now, the only thing that you have to figure out is, in this present climate that we're in, do you have the opportunity to do that based on your investments in the past, your retirement accounts, but most importantly, the income that you're generating on a monthly basis or a yearly basis? Do you have enough to cover those investments or that home of your choice?
Okay, so that's when you kind of talked about that debt to income ratio.
Absolutely.
Gotcha. And then we had one more. This was a follow-up from Miss Dumas. I found my new home and financed already. Oh, I will call you offline.
Do that.
That is awesome.
Why did I get that message before you, Sonia?
Before me?
Yeah.
Well, what I would say, Ian, is that we have a lot of people that have tuned in this evening. So please, guys, if you have questions, keep them coming. That is exactly why Ken is here. He actually mentioned, I want to bring it up one more time so that I can point out some things as well. This is not just a workshop, right? This is where you can be actually engaged and empowered. When you talk about coaching, that means you're going to get some empowerment, right? This is then Saturday, coming up this weekend from 9:30 to 1 p.m. Okay. And then every third Saturday. So once a month moving forward, looks like all the way through November.
Correct.
Okay, there is limited seating, so you need to register. Now, my question then, Ken, this is once a month. Do they register then every single month for the event? Or once you register, are you registered for the entire series?
I would like for them to register each and every month, because people have a tendency to drop off. And that's one of the things that we don't want to happen in this instance, Sonia. We want to make sure that once you've signed up, you're going to be consistent and disciplined enough to follow the program through to the point where we create that 100 new homeowners that we're seeking in the city of Detroit and elsewhere. You can't do that by just attending one workshop. The one workshop is what we've done in the past. And the results have basically been the same. We went there, we found out a little information. Pookie and Ray got with you and everything, discouraged you, told you this is how it happens and this is what's going to happen. You never showed up again, and you wound up renting again.
Gotcha.
We don't want you to rent again. Okay?
Right. And that's an awesome mission and goal, is creating 100 new homeowners in Detroit by December 31st. So that means you have a commitment to the community. The community then has to have some ownership and commitment to themselves in order
Absolutely.
to
They
also
have to
make
hold
this happen.
themselves accountable.
Exactly. And it's not scary. See, the thing is that you only know what you know. And if you get the information that you need to know, then you can begin positioning yourself for what you desire. And if that is home ownership, then do not miss out on this opportunity. Ken, I do want to know, because someone may have this question. Are you having a different topic every month?
Oh, absolutely. Not only that, not only a different topic, but at the same time, we're reaffirming what we've taught you the session prior to that.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that, hey, at the end of this process, you've gotten to this step. Now let's get you to that step. And keep in mind, each and every person is at a different timetable, stage, whatever the case may be. You may be able to get pre-approved within a month's time, 2 months' time. Then there's some other individuals that, regardless of, despite their situation in the past and what have you, they may need a little more time. We're going to walk them through it to the point where that pre-approval letter is handed to you by a professional financial institution lender, so you can start shopping for a home. And see, a lot of times you get that pre-approval letter, and unfortunately, through certain lenders, it may not have a basis. Okay, we want to make sure that when they say they checked out your credit, they've checked out your credit. When they've checked out your debt to income ratio, they've checked out your debt to income ratio. When they verified your income and your employment, they verified your income and employment. Therefore, you are on a better, solid foundation than you ever would have in the past. We're not just handing you paper because you can get copy paper from Office Depot. We want to have some basis, some foundation that says, listen, these people are solid. So when you make that offer on your home, it's good as gold.
Yes. Now, one thing that I do want to talk about, because we got to take a short break, and we do have a question that we're going to get to when we come back from break as well. A lot of people have their own misconceptions about what they are able to do. I'm sure after attending these workshops, a light is shined on that. So we're going to talk about that when we come back. We're taking a quick break. We'll be right back.
Where we create meaningful bonding experiences through beading events for all occasions. Our mission is to bring people together intentionally, allowing them to spend quality time, connect deeply, and create lasting memories, one bead at a time. Linked offers many beading events such as bridal events, corporate team building events, birthday celebrations, groups and organizations, and much more. Save the dates for these following linked events: Autism Awareness, Piece by Piece, Connecting Through Creativity, Saturday, April 26th, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at 24590 George Street, Dearborn Heights. Register today on Eventbrite. This is a family-friendly event and all ages are welcome. Lupus Awareness, Purple Power, beading for strength and support if you struggle with lupus. Come out Saturday, May 17th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Are you suffering from grief? Beads of Remembrance, a beading experience for healing, is a powerful way to mourn the loss of loved one and celebrate their life. Come Saturday, May 24th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Additional events are planned for 2025. Make sure you check the social media pages for more information and register and share. And don't forget to book your own special event to bead and bond while creating your special memories, one bead at a time. Email us at info@areyoulinked.com or call 734-325-9001.
Now back to tonight's conversation. Keys to a Dream, unlocking the door to the life you deserve, with our hosts, Dr. Sonia Weaver and Kenneth Scott. If you have not already done so, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click the notification bell to receive alerts for future shows and share deals with Bob with others. Also like and follow us on social media for more conversations of impact with Bob.
Okay, Ken.
Okay.
So my statement before we took the break was a lot of people have misconceptions of what they or their position, misconceptions about their position. And some might be spot on or some might be close to it, but better than they thought.
Right.
Based on you being a, expert in your industry because you've been in it for a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
How many people actually are really they're missing the mark of what they see their themselves at when it comes to home ownership? Because I know for me, I was like, oh, I can't buy no home yet. But when I first took it out, it was
you
like,
addressed it like that. I'm glad you addressed it just like that. Keep in mind, we have been taught and we've assumed fear as a part of our innateness. The reason why most people don't venture out and do things that they wouldn't ordinarily do or that they've never done before is fear.
Mm-hmm.
We hope to overcome those things, or we will overcome those things Saturday, the third Saturday of every month leading up to November 15th.
Mm-hmm.
You have been inundated by information by Pookie and Ray Ray. And keep in mind, they stay in your ear. In a lot of instances, they're envious and jealous of where you are or what your potential could be. I ask you this question. If you want to be a homeowner, why are you allowing them to be in your ear?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you allowing fear to resonate with you when here we are? We hold these forums to educate our people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, Saturday in an interview, is that with all the knowledge and the experience that I've attained, it is truly a disservice to me if I don't bring that back to our community.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
We have to hold ourselves responsible and accountable for the success of our community.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't say, oh, I don't want to take that responsibility on, or I don't want to be accountable. If you're not responsible and you're not accountable, you may be a victim of it.
Well said.
Okay.
So we have.
So let's be in that class. Call the 313-244-5744 number and register. That's another thing that we don't do.
We don't register.
Like people don't RSVP for nothing.
Y'all got to get better.
We're going to show
RSVP because see, here's the thing: if whether it's free or there's a small cost associated, people want to have amazing events for you. If there's food included, we don't want to take food back. We want to have, enough for everybody so that we don't feel like, well, we just got too much and now we got too little. Yeah. When you register, it really has a great experience for you and less stress for the person doing the event. So yes, please register. I'm gonna co-sign that. I'm gonna co-sign
that. We're not gonna feed you like IHOP. But at the same time, we're gonna give you some snacks and everything so you can make it through these 3.5 hours.
Exactly.
And keep in mind that a lot of agencies do the 3.5 HUD certified housing counseling class.
Hmm.
We're not doing that. We're walking you through the process. So when you get finished and you've gone through each and every step of it, you've attained some knowledge. And not only that, you walk away with a pre-approval letter from a certified, a professional lender, mortgage lender, stating that you can go shopping for a home. And once you get to that house and everything, you turn that pre-approval letter over to the listing agent. After making that offer, they say, "Oh, I know that person. That person wouldn't send me someone that's not pre-approved. They will send me some. They might send somebody might send you a pre-qualification letter, but we're giving you a pre-approval letter. Making
Okay.
sure that we verified the information. That's the difference between pre-qualified and pre-approval. We have verified what you've stated and what you presented as legitimate, as valid. And once that
Okay.
is done, you walk into a situation on a firm foundation.
So you guys hear that there is a difference then between the two. So that's good information right there.
Right.
So Ken, we have
Pre-qual- Go ahead.
several questions that have come in.
Okay.
Okay. So following up with Barbara Biggs. Oh, first it was a comment. This is wonderful. Will I receive information to get my debt to ratio together? So this sounds like in the question is geared towards the workshops or the coaching session.
Absolutely.
The question
Absolutely.
is, will they get information regarding their debt to ratio to be able to get that together the way it's supposed to be?
Absolutely. Debt to income ratio is one of the factors that is prevalent in a pre-approval letter. Uh, do you have a situation where you paid your bills on time and what have you? Have you gotten it down to a reasonable amount where that financial institution can risk loaning you money? And we will know that once you do the budgeting process.
Okay. The second question was my husband and I have a low interest rate and have been in our home for over 20 years. I would like to move to another home, community out of Southfield. What is the interest today? Do you know that?
Okay. I wouldn't know that. You would have to check with various financial institutions.
Okay.
Chances are, when you bought your home and you're saying that you have a low interest rate, chances are that was during the COVID era and it was extremely low. And it might even be lower than what it is now, which is in the sixes. So, and it fluctuates, especially given this market that your president has created. So, it may go up and down. It may not be a good time to do so based on the interest rate fluctuating like it is.
Gotcha. Okay, so we got a couple questions from Dr. Dumas.
Mhm.
The first one she's asking
Shannon
for
just called me.
the first one she's asking for a friend. And other
Okay.
people, so we're gonna do this because other
I
people
got
might be
you. I got
listening.
you.
What are some ways to keep your home from going into foreclosure in this climate?
Making sure that first and foremost, obviously, you're making the payments on time. Obviously, knowing what the if your escrow amount, the amount that is utilized to pay your mortgage and everything, is inclusive of all the factors of principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. And then also be in contact with your servicer, your mortgage servicer at all times if you are having difficulty with your mortgage. That is usually on your pay statement, your statement for paying your mortgage. The number is there. If you're having any difficulty whatsoever, call them, find out not only or tell them what your situation is and see if they can assist you in maintaining the payments or extending the payments out to the point where your payments are comfortable given your situation, whether you're employed, whether you're underemployed, whether you've lost your job, whatever the case may be, make sure that you are in constant contact with your servicer. One of the things that we don't do, and this came as a result to a large extent of caller ID or prior to caller ID.
We ain't talking to no creditor. We ain't talking
Hey,
to no.
we would open up our mail and that number come across. If I didn't know it, it wasn't no family member, it wasn't no friend. We ain't answering it. Don't answer that phone. Okay.
Well, let me tell you, Ken. Let me tell you.
Gotta answer
My pastor on Sunday, he said he seen a TikTok video where this young girl put some white out on her car screen over the check engine light so she wouldn't have to see it no more. So to me, that's in line with not opening the mail, not answering the phone. It's as if you don't see it, if you don't look at it, like the problem just is not there.
Not there anymore.
It's still there. Okay. And you have to be able to address it so that you can move forward. If you don't know what you're addressing, there's no way that you can do what's necessary to handle it, make it go away, to address it, all of that stuff. You have to have that awareness.
You got to understand this. One of the lessons doing a home buyer ed class is to have some emergency funds available.
Okay, Ken, we gotta go. This ain't the financial class now. This is the home ownership class.
No. But what I'm saying is, if you put some white out over the what's the name, you might be out one night, out in a dark street on a dark highway, and you don't see the engine light.
I know.
The light is flashing.
I know it's not wise. I wanted to make that comment to let people know it is not wise. It's always best to talk to people and to have a relationship with people.
Absolutely.
If you know what's going on, the sooner you start the conversations overall, the better the outcome could potentially be, because it's about relationship. People who have relationship are willing to go the extra mile to see how they can help.
I thoroughly believe in that. And the other thing, like I stated before, open your mail. Don't let caller ID dictate how you answer the phone, because to me, it's a peace of mind thing. Mm-hmm. Okay. No, I'm going to answer the phone and I'm going to deal with you and tell you what my situation is. If you can't help me, you can't help me. But at the same time, I'm going to confront you with my situation and see if you can assist me in paying off this debt.
Gotcha. Yes. Okay, this is a good question, Ken.
Go ahead.
Okay, coming from Courtney Caldwell. I purchased my home 8 years ago, along with 3 vacant lots. I want to build a home on the lots. Any programs / assistance out there to help with new construction?
Okay, first and foremost, whoever the county register of deeds is, or you can even go to a title company. If you have those parcels conjoined or whatever the case may be, or if you don't, you can conjoin them and what have you, depending on what your take is on how you're going to utilize the property. But at the same time, make sure that you keep paying the taxes on all, 4 lots? The house and 4 lots?
The house and 3 lots.
3 lots, 3 lots. Because I just had a situation like this with an investor of mine. He was paying the taxes on the lot and his house and the lot. But there were 2 other lots, just like this situation, where he wasn't paying the taxes on it, and he should have been, but at the same time he wasn't. And someone looked at that and said, listen, I'm going to buy that extra lot. Unbeknown to him, because they thought the house and the other 2 lots were a part of the lot he bought.
Gotcha. Okay.
And he wound up being at the short end of the stick
Okay.
because the lot was the lot. The other two lots in the house were a whole separate legal description.
Gotcha.
So you got to be
So-
careful when you do that.
So basically, just so we get the concise answer, at least right now, is to start. You said with the where should she
Wait.
start at?
You should start with the county register of deeds. Make sure that you have the proper paperwork and legal description for each and every lot that you own. Then make sure that each and every lot that you own, you're paying taxes on.
Okay, so if all of this isn't set, do you know of any programs then that would assist in the construction on these said property, these lots?
Yeah, but give me a call because it's too in depth to go over on this.
So you hear that, Courtney? We're going to get Ken's information for sure before we close out the show. He's going to announce it, and then it'll be posted also on our social media pages. Okay, so we have one last segment that we're going to get into. And remember, I kind of alluded to it in the beginning because you're not on this journey for just yourself. And actually, some of the comments that have come in are saying that. They are saying that, great show. They are saying, thank you for your commitment to our community. This is priceless information. We need more people like you.
Thank you.
Excellent show, So thank you, Ken. Yes, for being a resource of information. So as we come back,
we should make this a monthly segment. Go ahead and say what you're going to say.
As we come back, I want you to share then, the aspect of the encouragement piece.
Absolutely.
That this is bigger than you. You are here on a purpose. And how do you lean into your faith in order to do that? So Absolutely. We'll be right back.
Grandparents on the Move invites you to attend an extraordinary event for exceptional men. Come for a pre-Father's Day live jazz and barbecue brunch, June 7th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Ticket donations are $20. Married versus Single live weekend event at Put-in Bay, Ohio. Be a part of the debate, Friday, June 27th through Sunday, June 30th. Register on Eventbrite. Perfect Events and Jais VGen presents Mommy and Me Princess Party Spa Weekend at the Hilton Garden Inn, 31800 Smith Road in Romulus. Friday, July 11th through Sunday, July 13th. Registration on Eventbrite.
It's BUF of Michigan's 55-year anniversary. High five to 55. Kicking off on 5/5/25 with BUF on the Green, a night of jazz with WJZZ. This milestone event will happen at the historic founding BUF House located at 2187 West Grand Boulevard, Detroit, on May 5th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Come out and celebrate legacy and support our mission. BUF Second Annual Black History Awards. Come celebrate excellence, legacy, and community impact. Thursday, June 19th from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the Morena Event Center, 23632 Plymouth Road, Redford Township. We are having a white party celebrating Black excellence. Attention college students ages 18 to 23. Are you seeking a summer internship? BUF of Michigan is hosting 5 college interns this summer. The time to apply is now. July 7th to August 15th. This is your chance to gain hands-on experience and make a real impact in the community. Now back to tonight's conversation. Keys to a Dream, unlocking the door to the life you deserve. With our host, Dr. Sonia Weaver and Kenneth Scott. If you have not already done so, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click the notification bell to receive alerts for future shows and share deals with Bob with others. Also like and follow us on social media for more conversations of impact with Bob.
So as we go into this final segment, Ken, you know, every time you come on, we're a little overdue. We go a little bit
Mhm.
over, but it's okay.
But you have to let me know about all these events that you be going to.
Well,
I'm like, man,
this is
I
not
like that.
everything I go to. I want to thank actually our community supporters. If you want to be a
Absolutely.
community supporter, please reach out to us and we can incorporate what you're doing on our program as well. But we thank our community supporters in the work that they're doing, just like you, making an impact for our community. But Ken, this can be easy because I know I do a lot of work too that impacts and is for the community. It can be tiresome. But how have you leaned into your faith? What has God done to and for you that allows you to sow back into others the way you do?
Um, a friend of mine asked me years ago if what is how do you phrase that? If someone were to say something positive about you, what would you want them to say?
Mm,
That I help my people.
mm, mm-hmm,
I provided them with the tools, whether they used it or not. I provided them with the tools in order to uh, create a better quality of life.
mm-hmm.
Keep in mind, when I was president of the Greater Detroit Realtors Association, our motto was increase Black home ownership.
Mm-hmm.
Our slogan was democracy in housing.
Gotcha. Uh-huh.
And if I look around the city of Detroit, there's not a whole lot of democracy in housing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. People are renting when they could have bought. People are renting homes that are substandard to other cultures and other races. At some point in time, we have to say no, and then we have to figure out why we're saying no.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is that no because I'm not just going to accept anything?
Yeah.
Okay? I'm going to raise my standard to the point where I get what myself and my family are deserving of, my community is deserving of, because when you purchase a home, you're not purchasing just a home, you're being a part of that community.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how does that community look around you right now?
Right.
Why are you locating outside of 8 Mile, Telegraph, Kelly, uh, Jefferson? You have to understand that we're running away from ourselves. Here we are looking ourselves in the mirror and saying we don't like what we see.
Yeah. And
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 that's the shame of
I
it.
hear you on that. And there's a lot of healing that has to be done in
Truly.
that community. And because of that, I know I lean into my faith because
I have to.
there's so many layers of hurt, mistreatment, lack of trust, all of these layers that only God can begin to work through those layers of processing. And
Absolutely.
basically there's a love that's underlying everything that you said
Absolutely.
comes from a place
Absolutely.
of not only self-love, but the love
Mhm.
that we have for one another and the
Mhm.
desire and knowledge of what can be. So Ken, you have been uh elevated, if you will, and given the
Mhm.
opportunity and the gift and the assignment from God to be able to see what can be. You probably look in the lens when you
Mhm.
go through and drive through neighborhoods that other people don't necessarily see what you see. And on top of that, you know what can become, what can
Yeah.
happen, because you say like Pookie and them,
Mhm.
they don't see what you see.
They weren't.
So you've taken up your
Yeah.
assignment so that you can get through to those who you need to reach.
Absolutely. And you got to understand this. The most valuable thing that I possess in my own spirit is peace of mind.
Mm, mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm,
know when I speak, and I try to encourage as many people as possible. When I speak and what have you, it's about the concerns of my community.
Mm-hmm.
When I was growing up, I grew up in the house with my mother, my aunt and her 3 girls, my grandmother and great grandmother. I have been truly blessed and loved all my life.
Amen.
Okay. But at the same time, everyone hasn't had the upbringing that I've had.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, doesn't mean that they can't attain it.
That's true.
That's the most important thing. What are you going to do differently tomorrow than you did today?
Amen. Amen.
Where are we going? And
That's
I was at a meeting. I was at a meeting Saturday. I just had to get out of there because we were talking about the same thing for the last 30 years, and we haven't come up to a remedy yet.
Well, what I do like that you what I do like that you said, and then we do have to wrap it up, is that you said this workshop, and I'm gonna bring it back up one more time as you leave your information. This workshop is different than what you've done before.
This is not a workshop. This is
because it's not a workshop, right? So it's different than what you've done before because it's not a workshop. It's empowerment. It is
it's an investment in yourself.
It's an investment in yourself. They're coaching you. But so what you said though prior to that, and I don't even know if you listened, but I caught it. And I don't know if other people caught it or not. That's why I'm putting it out here. You said for years we were doing these types of events, and you kind of gave an example of what you were doing, and it wasn't as effective. It wasn't getting the results you were yielding. So this time you're doing something different. And so that's what we need to start doing. Like you just said, we be talking about the same thing over and over. At some point you have to break it and recognize what do you have to do differently so that you can start seeing the results that you desire. So people that are watching, this is something different. You know,
exactly.
So
and let me say this. Let me say this. I talked to one of my sponsors, and my sponsor said, "What's different about this one?" I said, first and foremost, we're not a workshop; we're a coaching session. He said, "What's next?" I said, "We're consistent and persistent in our message, and that's what we do as far as marketing." The next thing is, it's held every 3rd Saturday of the month between 9:30 and 10 and 1 p.m. And he said, "Okay, anything else?" I said, "Yes. It's held at the same place. So you can't get lost."
That's right.
Okay, it's held at the same place. It's held at the same place, the same time, the same day of the month. I'm trying to make this as consistent and persistent as I could possibly make it in order for us to be consistent and persistent in the message that we want to deliver.
I love it. So Ken, there's a number that's on here, that 313-244-5744. Is that a number that they can contact you at?
No, that's the number for registration. I just want them to leave their name, their first and last name. Their obviously we're going to have their telephone number, but at the same time also leave their email address. I prefer actually that they text the information, their first name, last name, their email address, and what zip code they're from.
Okay, so this number is a number they can text.
Yes.
Okay, so you're hearing that. You can text to this number, and you're going to be texting your name, your zip
First
code,
and last name, your email address, and your zip code.
And your zip code. Now, during this show, though, there's some people that have some questions upon which you said that they needed to reach out to you. So how can people get in touch with you?
If you can give them my number. One of the things I don't want to do is that I don't want to confuse them. So for those people that have inquired, give them the number that you have, Sonia.
Okay.
And let that 244-5744 number be the registration
for the registration. So for those of you who are watching on this show where you've commented, I'll put in the comments how to get in touch with Ken for more additional information, or to answer some additional questions, or to arrange a meeting with him personally.
Correct.
So Ken, I don't know. We had one person buy in that said yes to you saying this needs to be a monthly thing. So that would have to be something that has to be called upon me to see if I can buy.
All right, everybody else chime in now.
But I do want to thank you as always for coming on to have an amazing
Sonia.
conversation. It has been a fabulous conversation with you. I appreciate you so much and all the work that you're doing. One question that I do want to pose to those that are watching, please share with me, who would you like to come on? What other topics? Because I do know quite a few people in a lot of different industries. So if there's something that you would like a show to be about, please reach out to me and we would do our best to make that happen. Again, I want to thank all the sponsors that for our community partnerships that have given us their information to promote on tonight's show. Thank you so much for all the work that you do. And then I also would like to tell people, those watching, if you are not a subscriber, please become a subscriber today. It just allows for us to reach others. It increases our reach to people. So please, if you're not a subscriber, make sure you hit the subscribe button and then share it with others if you like the content and what we're doing here. I truly thank you for joining in this evening. So Ken, if you have any further things before we wrap up that you just want to make sure you share really quickly, and then we're going to wrap up for tonight.
This is a phrase that I learned in the Bible that always gets me through troubled waters. It's 3 words: peace, be still.
And to that, we will say goodnight. I am your host, Dr. Sonia Weaver, and I encourage you to spend with purpose and deal with Bob. We'll see you next time. Have an amazing night. And happy Easter. Sonia. Happy Easter. Bye-bye.
Happy Easter. Thank you, Sonia.
You're welcome. Thank you, Ken.